Okay.
I'd like to know if it's our township solicitor's legal opinion that the phrase local rule, law, or regulation means exclusively land division, or subdivision and land development ordinance. Is that what that exclusively means? A local regulation or law or regulation? In the back of our subdivision and land development ordinance, it says they must comply with any local rule, law, or regulation. In your opinion, rule, law, and regulation means only a subdivision and land development ordinance?
What are you referring to? You say our.
The townships, or the county has a subdivision and land development ordinance. In the end of that, it says that any operations must comply with all local, state, federal, applicable rules, laws, and regulations. States three things. In your opinion, a rule, a law, or regulation exclusively means subdivision and land development ordinance?
No, as an example, in order for the one that was reviewed tonight, the county needs to know whether the driveway.
Right. In regards to the Miller Compressor Station, Williams Corporation Miller Compressor Station, in regards to that.
Are we talking about the noise ordinance?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Now the noise ordinance, the opinion of our county solicitor, he says the only applicable local rule, law, regulation would be a subdivision. He said that if we had that would be the only applicable local law.
The municipality planning code makes it very clear that if there is a county zoning or planning ordinance, that has precedent over a township's rules that
it has,
if they include specific ordinances in, say, the county. In this particular case, the county does have a noise ordinance as part of the noise component, I would say, as a part of their overreaching planning module. So if it's in there, it takes precedent over something that the township has, and that's to avoid any kind of confusion. If you're going to the county planning and you want to build something, you want to be sure that once you have covered all your base with the county, the township's not going to come back and say, oh no, you have to do X, Y, Z. If we don't have one, and we don't have one in Harford, they take precedent. If we had a planning, if we had our own saldo, that would be different.
I agree that it's plain and clear that their subdivision and land development has to apply in Harford Township because we don't have one. But in the end of that, where it says any applicable local laws, that would be an applicable local law. But I don't see, where does it say that? Where does it say the noise ordinance
is applicable here?
Well,
where does it say that?
And if you're
but only if they didn't include it.
Where does it say that if it's included,
they have to go with the more stringent.
Our special purpose ordinance? Where does it say that?
In the municipality planning code says...
It says that the subdivision and land development takes precedence if we don't have one. That's all it says. It doesn't say that it does away with any special purpose ordinances. In fact, it calls on in the end of the subdivision and land development.
Well, see, I don't agree with that. And the solicitor for the county and I are on the same base on this. The fact that their subdivision, their county subdivision plan includes a noise regulations within it, that takes precedent over our ordinance.
Over any local applicable laws, rules, and regulations.
Yes. But
where does it say that? Where does it say a part of the subdivision ordinance of the county?
I'm not saying you disagree.
If you take seizures just about every day and you got to take medicine for it, and it gets worse, then where are you at?
Right. No,
I wish I could switch with you.
I agree with you.
I really wish I could give you what my problem.
You'd have a hell of a time. I live by the hospitals.
That's why I don't live there. See, I bought up here 20-some years ago because of neck injuries and everything.
But there is a county noise ordinance.
No, I think that has to be decided by a judge, I'm sure, because this is really splitting hairs. That a part of the land division would do away with any applicable special purpose ordinances.
Correct.
I think a judge has to decide.
Right, because
I don't think it says anywhere that a piece of the subdivision land development of the county does away with any special purpose ordinances. If it did,
I-
there'd be really hardly any need for any special purpose ordinances.
Correct.
So that can't be.
Unless there are ones that aren't covered by
They can't override
the
the
county
township.
planning commission.
No, it doesn't say anywhere that something in the land division, that has to be decided by a judge. I don't think two solicitors can make the final
Right,
decision on
because the
that.
simple
We
fact
disagree.
is, we have to go with the more stringent law.
Oh, I don't know, I don't agree with that.
Oh, I
You
do.
know, you can't just pick the law. You
Right,
know,
that's
in
what you guys
relationship-
are doing, you're picking the law.
In relationship with
And you
other
can't-
I'm
laws,
not picking anything. I'm telling you that my interpretation of the municipality.
And I'm telling you, mine is
Please
this.
don't talk while I'm talking.
I
Now,
am,
I'm being very kind to you right now.
so am I.
You
Mr. Tuttle,
should
let
stop.
the lawyer
You should
speak,
stop
please, then
just
you'll
for
get
a
your
second.
turn. You'll get your turn,
You keep
okay?
talking over me. This is my opinion, and this is what I have given to the supervisors. The municipality's planning code tells us that the county takes precedent. That's what I've told them, that's my opinion. You have a different opinion, you have a different opinion, and that's fine. The solicitor for the county agrees with me. There's not much more I can do. I'm going to advise my clients that their ordinance is subservient to the county ordinance. But you have recourse with the county ordinance.
yeah, we can take it in front of a judge to have them decide it.
Right, and this board's gotta go in front of the judge also.
I don't know what that means.
That
Yeah,
means
well,
you,
no.
we gotta get everybody involved here and get this thing straightened out. I mean, it's a mess.
I've done what I'm going to do.
Yeah, that's
I've
exactly.
advised the supervisors. That's all I'm gonna do. That's all I can do. I don't have any authority past that. They ask me for an opinion, I give them an opinion. There's no litigation, there's nothing else. I've given my opinion, and I'll stand behind it.
And the
And
planning
also-
commission finalized the permit, right?
Finalize final approval on the, with the
Which-
discretion, two of the,
Right.
what, how many different board members? Two of them voted no.
Right.
Because of that piece. It's not a consensus that is the legal, there's many different legal opinions on this. And other lawyers we've talked to, many lawyers have looked at it, and it's not only one opinion on this. And so it does have to be decided by a higher authority.
Or the
Oh, and also-
legislature has to clarify what they want us to do.
Right, exactly. But also, and I'm sure that you guys put this in the newspaper, Ordinance 50, right? Yeah, you have to advertise that stuff, right? Okay. I was sure you did.
They're very good about that.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Yes.
Under what ordinance does the subdivision that you just did fall under? You have ordinances. What ordinance are you working under to make the decision about the subdivision?
No, they're simply being asked by the county to look at this and give a recommendation.
So who's going to make the final decision?
The county has to make the final decision on the subdivision.
Okay. And do you have a planning committee? You mentioned a planning committee.
That's the county,
You're talking about the county?
right?
The county planning
Planning
commission?
commission is the county planning commission. There is no Harford planning commission.
Okay. And you just approved some driveway permits. Were they for industry or private? Who were the driveway permits for on North Harmony and Laurel Lane?
One of the gas companies,
And which gas company is it?
Williams.
And what is the permit for? Is it for pipeline or for a gas site? What are they asking what are they asking? Huh, pipeline?
Williams does that pipeline.
Okay, so they're asking for a pipeline. I'd like to ask also, have you ever, the Harford committee here, informed Williams or the county that your ordinances are not to apply? Your noise ordinance isn't to apply. Did you ever
I
inform?
have spoken, as I said before, I have spoken extensively to the county solicitor about this matter. He reached out to me, I talked to him, I talked to the county planning commission
And when did you
This
talk
is-
to them? And this is recently?
several times.
You mean
Several times
since the
in the last
past,
few months.
or the last several months? So, and you told them what, in the last several months, that they don't have to, they have to go under, that they don't
I
have
told
to?
them that, the same opinion I gave the supervisors.
And do you have that in writing somewhere, that you informed
No.
the committee, and then did they inform?
And even if if I was given an opinion to the supervisors, I guess technically it would be public. It wouldn't be something that I would be publishing. I would be giving it to my clients. My client is Harford Township, and the solicitor and the supervisors through that.
I think our solicitors have put a lot of effort into interpreting this law.
Now, Williams can't,
Could you guys even just give me some names here? I don't even know who I'm talking. You know me, and I don't know you. I know Mr. Tuttle
And my son,
and your
Jim
son.
Tuttle.
Okay. You're both Jim?
Yeah.
and
No.
I'm Ben.
Oh, you're Ben. Okay.
Right.
And your name is?
Vera Scroggins.
Okay. I know where you guys live up the same spot?
Yeah.
And where do
Yeah.
you live, Vera?
Silver Lake Township.
You're not a resident of Harford Township?
No.
Okay, well,
I
thank you
have,
for coming to our meeting.
you're welcome, and I have another comment. Williams can't meet the county ordinance the way it is. So, will you enforce your ordinance? Are you willing to enforce your noise ordinance on Williams?
What ordinance are you talking about? The noise ordinance? or-
Yeah, your noise ordinance. Are you willing to enforce your noise ordinance? Either number 42 or number 44?
How are they not?
Number 42 doesn't apply to this, it has to be number 44 industrial.
Guys,
That's all you want.
just for 1 second, the meeting is open to public comments. People who are taxpayers or residents of the municipality.
Do you have
We
that?
appreciate you coming.
Do you
but
have that in
We don't have
writing?
to let you speak, and we're going to let you speak,
That's
but we
good.
don't have to.
Well, do you have that in writing somewhere that it's only to
The
Hartford?
Constitution,
You have a constitution that says that?
the Pennsylvania Constitution.
Well, at other township meetings, non-residents can speak and they don't claim,
Good for them.
and they don't claim the
Try to do it in
constitution.
Scranton.
Well, you'd have to have something in writing beyond the constitution. I'd like you to quote which part of the constitution.
Okay, I'm just telling you that.
All right, I hear you. Are you willing to enforce your ordinance at all, because you do have a noise ordinance?
We have
And-
two of them. You got the residential and you have an industrial.
Okay,
And
so-
in this case, the industrial one.
I'd like to point out, though, that the first one does name industry, whether it be a federal or state, any of the state.
It's still my opinion that the county takes precedent.
So that means you're not willing to enforce your ordinance then? You're willing to let the county take over your own noise ordinance? And what is your...
Not willing, they have to. If they tried to enforce the ordinance, Williams or any other person or business that they try to enforce it against could say, we don't have to pay any attention to you because the county's...
Just let me ask you something. How are they not going under the county ordinance? What are
They're
they?
not, well, they're not able to meet it, because if they were to do their testing, you know, they
It
can
was all
meet,
tested, they had,
They-
to-
they met-
they had to send engineers up there and have in writing.
Okay, they have
what
the testing.
all the decibel levels were, at what distances,
that's true, they
in order to
had,
get that in order
Right.
to get their permit.
so they
So they
got,
have passed the counties,
they have passed the county, you're right.
and the counties is almost identical to ours.
Well,
No, it isn't,
Ours is
yours,
50 decibels at least 25 feet from the property line. That's at least 25 feet. It can be measured at 1,000 feet. It has no definite distance. It just states that it can't be any closer than 25
wasn't
feet.
that beautiful?
That's what our noise ordinance says.
that's how you interpret your noise
Well, it
ordinance?
reads it right there. I've read it 17 times.
Well, I'm reading it also, and it says within 25 feet, can you read it?
It doesn't say within
At least
25
25
feet.
I don't think this is... We're not here to debate what the ordinance says. I think you've gotten my opinion.
Yeah, I know.
I don't
Well,
think that-
at this point, you're not, Williams cannot meet the ordinance the way it's written in your ordinance.
Well, they're saying that they don't have to. It's our opinion that we'll take it to the next higher authority to decide whether they can comply with whether local laws, regulations, and rules apply to our noise ordinance. That's what the next level of authority will decide.
Right.
That's, yeah.
But you're making ordinances to protect your residents. So the ordinances were made specifically to protect the residents, not to protect industry. Because you're concerned about your residents, which is a good thing, and you made those ordinances for them. So now we have residents that are harmed and are concerned about the harm, and how are you going to enforce your ordinance? Now, if you're not willing to enforce it, then the residents have recourse to go to the magistrate, to a higher court, and complain about this lack of enforcement and willingness not to enforce it.
All right, I think we've discussed this. It's the opinion of our attorney, so he explained what's what. So as far as I'm concerned, we're not gonna discuss it anymore. Have any other questions? Okay, we're gonna have an executive session with our attorney.
I would mention for the record that the executive session is specifically about current ongoing litigation against the township. As you're probably aware, a lawsuit, and the executive session is allowed to discuss litigation.
Can you tell us what the sense of the lawsuit?
Oh, sure. Well, it's public record. The county has been sued, the township has been sued with regard to water runoff.
Tyler Lake. Oh,
Tyler Lake, yeah.
And you're Drew Hailstone Jr., right?
Yep.
No, he's
Well, Jamie.
Oh, you're Jamie.
Yes. But that's my dad, yep.
Is he retired then?
He's still coming in, so I don't know. He claims he's retired. He's not going out in the middle of the night anymore, I guess is the bottom line.
He wants to sleep at night.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Before you back up, I'll take it off. I got some questions.
Yep, not a problem. And
You know those thumbs on
anything
your
you
phone, the
can
right
have,
they come to see, how many
reached anybody?
gigs or megabytes or whatever they call them, you need to get the entire.
If they want to talk to me, and we can try and get, but yeah, if the judge tells us.
How long the meetings are, there's different reports.
I know I've got a 16
Yep.
up at the house, but it's, I put every
Okay,
record
cool.
of the
Have a good
water
one.
company on.